Hello students, in our last lecture we discussed about the setting out of simple circular curve of a chapter number 4 surveying subject. So there are main two types of the setting out of simple circular curve. First is a linear method and the second is a angular method. So in the last lecture we discussed about the linear method. Now today we start a new method is a angular method or second type of the method. So here name indicate angular method. So here angle is compulsory measured in this method. So we use the theodolite for measuring the angle, and sometimes we use the chain or tap for a measuring purpose, and these method are used when the length of the curve is very large, and linear method is generally used for the short curve, and angular method is used for the large curve. Now here in angular method is another divided into three part. First is a Rankine method or tangential method, second is a two theodolite method, and third one is a tachymetric method. So what is Rankine method? And Rankine method is also called a one theodolite method also. So in a G2 examination ask this question, look like a 7 marks, like analyze the angular methods and explain any one or two in detail with figure. Now first we start a angular method is a Rankine method of a tangential angle, also called a one theodolite method, and this method is most frequently used in a surveying work, and this method is generally used for the railway work, highway and expressway construction for a more accuracy. So here angular method is more accurate as compared to linear method, and this method is generally used for the large area and large length of the curve. Now see this figure. In next slide we discuss about the figure. So here C1, C2 and C3, C1, C2 and C3, these three are the length of the chord T1A, AB and BC. So T1A, AB and BC, these are the length of the chord, and delta 1, delta 2 and delta 3 is the angle of the successive chord is a delta 1, delta 2 and delta 3 is a angle of the successive chord of the T1A, AB and BC, which make respective to the tangent of the curve at a T1A and B, and delta 1, delta 2 and delta 3 is a deflection angle. This one, second and third, these three angle is a deflection angle of the particular point. Now from the property of the circle, VT1A is equal to 2 times T1OA. T1OA is a 2 times delta 1. So here T1OA is equal to 2 times VT1A is a 2 delta 1. Now T1OA angle divided by C1, T1OA angle means 2 delta 1 divided by C1 is equal to 180 degree divided by pi r. So here 180 degree divided by pi r. So delta 1 is equal to C1 90 degree pi r. This answer we got in the form of the degree. Now it's converted into minute. So 1 degree is equal to 60 minutes. So we multiply the 60, C1 90 degree multiplied by 60 divided by pi r. So we got the answer 1778.9 C1 divided by r is angle delta 1 in the form of the minutes. Now similarly we find out the angle delta 2, delta 3, delta. So these all the angles, only value of the C1, C2, C3 are changed and others value are same. Clear? Now for the first chord T1A, deflection angle is a tangential angle delta 1 is equal to delta 1. So let the deflection angle of a point B delta 2 is equal and delta 2 tangential angle for the chord AB. So AOB is equal to 2 times AOB is equal to 2 times delta 2. Now angle AT1B is a half of the angle subtended by the AB at the center of delta 2. Now AT1B is equal to delta 2. So delta 2 is angle VT1B is equal to AT1 A1T1A A1T1A and AT1B. So both the summation we got the final answer A1T1B. So it's a delta 2. So delta 2 is equal to delta 1 plus delta 2. Now in a last slide we discuss is that delta 1 is equal to delta 1, already seen in a figure this value. So put the value of the delta 1 at here. So delta 2 is equal to delta 1 plus delta 2. Similarly delta 3 and delta 4 we easily write down at here up to delta n. Now setting out of the tangent point T1 and T2 on ground. So how to setting out the points, starting point and end points? This one is a T1 and end point is a T2. So how to set out? So first of all set out the theodolite at a T1 point of the curve, and with both the plates completely set the 0 0 and direct the theodolite and bisect the point V point, means intersecting point. Now release the upper clamp and the screw and set the angle delta 1 of the vernier, and the line of sight direct the chord T1A. Line of sight direct the chord T1A, and with the 0 of the tap the point T1 and arrow held at a T1A is a C1 is a chord 1 fixed on a ground. So here A point, mark the point by the wooden peg or arrow. Now release the upper plate and set out the second deflection angle delta 2 on a vernier. So find out the side T1B and mark the point B on a ground with the 0 end of the tap point AB is equal to C2. This C2 is another point. So repeat the procedure until the last point up to T2. In short, at the end of the point or end of the curve, this procedure repeated, and join all the points T1, A, B, C, D up to T2 point. Now second method is a 2 theodolite method. So here name indicate 2 theodolite. So here 2 theodolite means there are 2 theodolite is used, and one is at a starting point and another at a end point. So here in this method chain or tap is not required. So first of all VT1A is equal to deflection angle delta 1 and AT2A1 is also in a opposite segment. So VT1A and AT2T1 both the angles are same, clear. Similarly VT1B and BT2T1 both the angle are same, delta 1 and delta 2. So how to set up the all the entire procedure 2 theodolite method? So first of all set up the theodolite at a T1 point and T2 point. Then after clamp both the plate transit screw at a 0 0 degree, and with a 0 degree direct the line of sight transits the T1 toward the V point, means bisect the V point. Similarly direct the line of sight transits the T2 to T1. So from this second theodolite is set up at a T2 point and bisect the T1 point. Then after vernier A of the both the theodolite shows the 0 0 reading. So first theodolite bisect the V point and second theodolite bisect the T1 point. Then after transits the deflection angle of a first point A. So here deflection angle we take a like 10 degree. So here VT1A is equal to 10 degree. Similarly AT2T1 is also 10 degree. So here both the lines are merged at a single point, A point. Mark this point by the wooden peg or arrow. Similarly, second angle VT1B and BT2T1, both the angle are same, and intersecting point of the T1B and T2B, here intersecting point is a B point. So mark this point by the wooden peg or arrow. So similarly all these 2 to 3 points take and just joint all the points and draw the line. So we got a simple circular curve. Now third method is a tachometric method. So here linear and angular measurement are used in this method. So less accurate than the Rankine's method, and here T1A, T1B and T1C are the different chord, and join of these chord point ABC we get the curve. So T1A is equal to L1 is equal to 2r sin delta 1, T1B is equal to L2 is equal to 2r sin delta 2, and T1C is equal to L3 2r sin delta 3, and T1 T2 is equal to Ln 2r sin delta n. So 2r sin delta 2 divided by 2r sin delta 2 by delta by 2 is equal to L. So it's a length of the chord. Now procedure is given for this method. So set up the theodolite or a tachometer at a T1 point and bisect the V point intersecting point. At this time set this reading 0 0 and set the deflection angle delta 1 and bisect the A point. Thus the line of sight along with a T1A. Similarly, direct the staff man, move the direction in a T1A till calculate the staff intercept S1 is obtained and the staff head vertical. Thus the point A is fixed on a ground by the, and this point is marked on a ground by the wooden peg or arrow, and set the deflection angle delta 2 from the V point delta 2, and same procedure is repeated up to the end point T2 point or end point C point. Now next topic we start is a transition curve. So when the vehicle move on a curve, there are two forcing is acting like weight of the vehicle W and centrifugal force P. So this topic is already you learn in a MOS subject. So both the force passing from the center of the gravity of the vehicle and weight of the vehicle act as a vertical, and resultant force of the two forces should be normal to the road surface, and here centrifugal force P is equal to W square divided by GR. So here P is the centrifugal force, W is the weight of the vehicle in the form of the kg or Newton, and V is the speed of the vehicle meter per second, and G is equal to acceleration due to gravity, and R is the radius of the curvature. So these are the equation for finding out the centrifugal force P. So P is equal to W square divided by GR. Centrifugal force is inversely proportional to radius of the curve, and radius decrease, so centrifugal force is increase. Means if the curve is very sharp, so centrifugal force is maximum, and when the vehicle enter from the straight line to straight road to the curve, its the radius is changed from the infinite to R, and resulting is sudden increase in a centrifugal force of the vehicle, and if this value is exceed, so vehicle may overturn. It's a simple logic things, and here figure is given. So here simple circular curve, this one is a simple circular curve, and in both the side transition curve is given, and R is the radius of the curvature, and O point is the center point of the curve, and T1 and T2 and is a starting and end point of the curvature, and these two lines are AT1 and BT2 is a tangential line, and V point is the intersecting point of the both the tangential line, and delta is a deflection angle. Now requirement of the transition curve. So here some of the requirement. So it should be tangent to the straight line. In a last slide you see the figure, so it's a tangent to the straight line, and it should be meet the circular curve tangentially, and it should be zero at the origin of the straight curve, and its curvature at the junction with the circular curve should be same as that of the circular curve, and full superrelation is attained at the junction with the circular curve. Now next is the purpose of providing the transition curve. So increase the curvature gradually. Next is provide the medium of super elevation, and third one is provide extra widening of the circular curve gradually. And here some of the advantages of the that, and first is reduce the discomfort, second is reduce the chance of the overturning of the vehicle, and third one is allow high speed at the curvature, and wear on running gears is reduced. So these are the main four advantages of that. Now in a next lecture we discuss about the super elevation or a cant. So here we complete our topic and stop our lecture. Thank you.